have Egozi being cornered by Cadillac Lavelle Simpson as well as Vinny Lopez. Drew Johnson is certainly a kickboxer as far as his base and his style, but you have someone like Egozi who is pretty well-rounded and who's fought a lot of guys of different styles throughout his career so far. They also have a couple of mutual opponents. They both fought Kurt Smith. Elias Egozi has a big right hand land for him right there. Strong knees back and forth.
Big left hand just landed from Johnson.
And it's all about them angles, folks. Our cameraman Garrett Franklin over there trying to get the perfect shot. Also on the grips, we have Eric Mitchell Jr.
Johnson's doing a really good job of striking off the break every single time. He seems to land big power shots. Egozi's going to have to make that adjustment for sure.
Couple of heavy overhands being thrown right there by Johnson, but a big breath followed that right there. You know, how much does throwing these big bombs early on like that, you know, do we see already fatigue setting in for Johnson? We've seen a couple of very deep breaths.
Yeah, it's not just the big shots, it's the big misses. You know, he's not landing. If you land those big shots, it's not quite as draining on your fatigue, but everything he's throwing right now is 100% power, and he's landing at about maybe 10%, so that's definitely going to drain the batteries pretty quick.
And Egozi looks comfortable. Switch kick to the body right there by Egozi. Well-timed takedown. Wind up in guard. Drew Johnson does have a butterfly in on the right side. And a sweep right there by Drew Johnson.
Nice sweep by Johnson.
Left hand lands again from Egozi. Strong affair for Egozi through the first round. I think it's fair to say that that left hand is landing almost at will.
It's landing very nicely. And Egozi looks like the little, you know, the more calm in the middle of the ring. He looks like he's able to process what's going on a little bit better than Johnson. But Johnson's hanging in there.
Definitely. I mean, and, you know, at this stage, each of them have tremendous experience compared to some of our amateurs that we've seen earlier on in the card, on the undercard, who were all debut guys. These guys have, between all the different combat sports, more than 10 fights combined. So, you know, I think that we're seeing a little bit more of that savvy, if you will. Obviously, there's still some learning that is being had, but, you know, like I say, when you have someone like Egozi who trains with just an entire stable of killers with Elevation Fight Team, I think that that's going to help expedite your learning curve and your ability to manage those nerves.
Yeah, if you're able to get in there and scrap with some really tough guys during practice, when you get in the cage, you're able to process a lot better.
Yeah, it's working in the fire, too. Like, if you're getting in the fire, like Josh said, with real killers at practice, then when it happens in the fight, it's not foreign territory. You're not learning on the job. You've been there before. You can kind of go back to what you've done before. It's not the first time you've been there.
The thing about Drew Johnson, though, I feel like he's one of those awkward guys that's hard to prepare for because he does strike at some not so traditional angles. You know, the way that he throws some of his strikes are just it's not to sound the wrong way, but it's kind of goofy, but he lands and he's effective with it.
Yeah, and he just doesn't care if he gets hit. He'll run in, he'll take 3 shots to maybe land one big one. You know, you don't find that a lot, especially in the early amateurs or younger fighters in their career. He doesn't care, man. He bites down on his mouthpiece and swings for the fences.
I'm going to chalk that one up. Goofy reference from Jordan Kurtzy.
A little goof. But if we're looking at simply the expressions alone, I mean, it's like a poker face from Elias Egozi. I don't think he's changed facial expressions once since this fight started. Just missed with the wheel kick there from Drew Johnson.
I think that Egozi might be, he's taking deep breaths himself. He might be a little worn out right now.
Might be a little bit.
I mean, that pressure is hard to deal with, you know. Pressure and power is hard to deal with. He's volume striking, essentially, but with all power, which is something you don't see very often.
And just the movement alone, you know, with the pressure from Johnson and always constantly having to, you know, work footwork, work angles, get on the bike a little bit, circling out. That's energy that you don't think about, right?
Yeah, definitely, you know, and just your nervous system. You know, people don't think about
1-2
when
right
someone's
there
coming
from
at you to
Egozi
hurt
lands
you with
twice.
everything they throw. Your nervous system is raised, which increases your or decreases your cardio, obviously.
Overhand left by Johnson lands. Cross from Egozi at the bell lands, and a lot of deep breathing from both of these guys going on right now. Now, in terms of this third and final frame right now, guys, if you are in the corner of Elias Egozi, what are you offering your fighter?
I think he needs to set his wrestling up with his hands. You know, the only takedown we saw him get, he was very active with his strikes and then blended his takedown in, and then he had some success on the ground. He was able to hold him down, and it'll kind of give you a second to breathe, reset, you know, because right now he's getting walked down. You don't want that to happen, so he just needs to blend his hands to his takedown. But it's tough. It's tough with the pressure. It's tough with the power. He's just going to have to make a decision, bite down on his mouthpiece, and do it.
Josh, if you're in the blue corner, what are you offering your fighter?
I'm offering that he looks like the fresher fighter right now, and he's landing some unorthodox strikes just to keep doing what he's doing. Try and stay away from the grappling, and you never know, he might get a finish.
Well said. As we are underway for the third and final frame. Couple of strong right hands land from Drew Johnson.
And this is where Johnson needs to do his best to get himself off the cage. There we go. Just get away from him, get out in the open, and start throwing those strikes again.
Johnson keeps dipping his head off to the right. If Egozi can time that left high kick, that might be the curtains, ladies and gentlemen.
Egozi's having a really hard time interrupting. There he goes a little bit, but he's having a hard time interrupting. If he doesn't go first, he's typically just on the back foot, and Johnson's just like a ball rolling downhill, you know. So Egozi needs to interrupt, and I think he'll be able to land some power shots if he will start to do that. He'll just bite down on some of those kicks, bite down when Johnson comes forward, because Johnson's just coming forward with no punishment. You know, he's able to throw, chin in the air, because Egozi's just backing straight up. If he'll bite down, I think he'll be able to catch him.
That's fair. And we're certainly seeing the volume advantage right now from Drew Johnson.
These strikes that Johnson are throwing are just coming from out of right field, out of left field, different directions.
But because he's so erratic with his movement, he's finding ways to create angles.
Yeah, he's not only throwing these punches, but he is stepping with his punches in certain angles, creating those prime angles to throw another strike. He just landed a nice jab again. He's doing well. He's doing exactly what he needed to do this round.
Strong combination right there up against the fence. Stuffs his takedown attempt from Egozi. Strong knee to the body right there from Drew Johnson.
Honestly, his pressure and his unorthodox striking is really kind of breaking Egozi. You know, Egozi has no answer for it. It's hard for him to crack back. He's trying to get to this wrestling just to get this guy off him.
Now Egozi is looking to try to lock up that double leg. His hands aren't clasped underneath the butt of Johnson right now, but he might need to start to get a little bit athletic with it, a little pump and dump action off of the fence, scoop, maybe try to run the pipe. Short time, I don't know if it's enough for him to be able to score the takedown here. And a strong back and forth affair there in the welterweight division to start off our main card here today at Colorado Combat Club 14. Who do you guys at home have winning that fight right there? Let us know on social media. That's me at Comments from the Peanut Gallery, Josh at Josh from MMA, and Cody's got 1,000,001 underscores over there. He's goofy, but you know, Cody underscore Brundage underscore something like that, 1,000,001 out there. I'm sure if you just type in make Cody jacked again, you'll be able to find it out there.
Calm down, calm down. Everyone knows I stay jacked at all times. It's Cody underscore Brundage underscore or Cody Brundage 185. You know, come check your boy out.
And as we await our official decision, we are underway in a moment from ring announcer Aaron Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for these two warriors right here, man. They came out and put on the show. Your judges have reached a unanimous decision. All three judges see the bout scoring at 29-28. Declaring your winner via unanimous decision and finding out of the blue corner,